tonight's webinar. We're super excited. A great topic for a great time of year with Gene Guarino. Um, really, how to take advantage of the best real estate investment opportunity. And I absolutely believe that with Gene Guarino. Uh, the things we've learned over the years with real estate, no doubt about it. Gene is the expert on this topic. We're super excited to have Gene. It's going to be a great one tonight. This is one I always like to hear because, really truly, if you're in real estate's good. Yeah, no more, no better way to create wealth, right? No more millionaires created than through real estate by far. So the great thing is real estate is where the wealth comes from for most people in the United States anyway. And the best way right now, residential assisted living facilities. And this is one that myself, Don, have actually looked at a few different opportunities and a few different properties in the past to actually do this. So it's something we've definitely explored. And we've got real estate, but this is on the list for sure because the demand is there, no doubt about it. And it's only getting bigger, but I'll let Gene cover some of that. Before we start, I want to do a few different announcements here. Just a list of our webinars coming up, or I guess these are the ones we've actually had. We have several different ones we do with the experts, gurus, advisors, attorneys, just some of the best in the business on taxes, asset protection, real estate investing. In my opinion, it doesn't get better. I feel very lucky to be associated with any of these individuals you see here. They're all savvy investors and the best at what they do. So be sure and sign up for our webinars. If you signed up tonight, you should have emails coming your way. We do store those on our website, protectwealth.com, for 30 days. So sign up there. We'll send you a link as well. All right, and again, just a quick mention about our 3-day Asset Protection Summit. If you have not been to one of those, we literally have been doing this 20 years. It's the 3-day Asset Protection Summit, a lifetime to accumulate 3 days to protect. Literally, probably one of the longest or the longest running asset protection event in the country. Started with Jay Mitten 20 years ago, and we love it. It's kind of our passion. It's fun to see it change lives. And we always suggest take 3 days off to protect what you work so hard to accumulate. We are now live streaming July 27th through 29th. That was going to be in Phoenix. And unfortunately, due to restrictions, of course, health and safety reasons, unfortunately, we are going to have to not hold it live on location. But I am actually super excited. The good news is it will be live streamed. So you can sit from the comfort of your couch, and live stream, and the nice thing is that's going to be a lot of opportunity for a lot of people that were not going to be able to come. So we actually are very excited. July 27th through 29th, it will be live streamed. That does give us more room. So actually we should have more seats, virtual seats available for you. So if you can make that, we'll be sending the email out, or just sign up on our website, protectwealth.com. Love to have you. As for now, we do have other options, September 14th through 16th in Orlando, and Las Vegas, November 11th through 13th. We're still working through those, but we'll keep you posted. If any of those change, live stream or otherwise, we'll let you know. So love to have you. It's going to be a great event. We bring in all the experts, including Gene. Actually have a lot of time there to sit down one-on-one with the experts, and the virtually, there's a lot of opportunities that way too. So love to have you. There's an agenda on our website, protectwealth.com. And as we get started, always a disclaimer, we are an asset protection company. So we always say, hey, you know what? This is a disclaimer as in not specific legal, tax, or investment advice for you. If you want that kind of advice, seek out the experts that goes specifically for you. And I am super excited to have Gene Guarino on tonight. How to take advantage of the best real estate opportunity. And I can say Gene is super impressive because not only is he a master presenter, master educator, master entertainer. I don't know how you have so many talents, Gene. You got them all. You hit the jackpot in the talent arena. So always impressive because if you can speak, and you can also, entertain at the same time. That's a huge thing. But to also
I
off
just can't dance.
invest,
That's all. I can't
I
dance.
bet you can. I bet you can. But to be a real investor, and I know that's true. I've actually been to Gene's properties. I've been to Gene's events. He is the real deal, and it's super impressive. I guess you're the unicorn of investors, Gene.
Well, I
But
guess if you're going to be a unicorn, that's probably one of the better ways to be a unicorn. So
it is. But we're super excited to have you. Thanks for being on tonight. I'll turn it over to you. I'll mute myself out, and then I guess we may have a little bit of Q&A at the end if we have time.
yeah, that would be
Okay.
great. I always like that.
Okay. All right. Thanks for being on.
You got it. Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. I've got my glowing white shirt on here. I'm trying to do some different lighting. Let's see if this is too much. Yeah, we're gonna go with that for now.
Ah, you
It's
look
still
good.
glowing,
You look
but
good.
anyway. Hey, I am so excited to be here, and I've got a lot of information to share. I will tell you, those of you that are here, grab a pen, grab a paper. I'm going to do about 5 hours worth of material in less than an hour. So I hope you're ready. I'm checking my watch. Here we go. We have a group of companies called the AL family, the assisted living family. We own and operate homes, and I'm going to be describing that to you. We also invest in those homes with others across the country. We have an academy where we teach others how to own, operate, or invest in. And we also have a network that does all of the media from the TV to the radio, in print, and so on. In addition to that, we're actually starting a franchise. At the end of this year, we're announcing that at the national convention. So very excited. It's a great time to be in assisted living. There's a lot of need, there's a lot of opportunity, and it's only just begun. But tonight, what I'm going to be sharing with you is the Residential Assisted Living Academy and the opportunity for you to get involved. And also, I'm going to tell you right now, right up front, I've got something really special at the end. And I want you to stay right to the end because it's going to be a special opportunity for you. I've got a free gift for you as well, but I want you to stay for that opportunity because, frankly, you're all going to get involved in assisted living one way or the other, either in the real estate, the business, or you or a family member is going to be lying in a bed writing a check to somebody who does. So you're all going to get involved. You may as well choose how right now. Now, I mentioned to you our team called the Assisted Living Family. And it really is family because in the company, we have a lot of family members. My two daughters, Isabel and Victoria, my son Emmanuel, my wife Mona. In addition to that, my son-in-law is Garrett, my future son-in-law Ikaika, just proposed this past week, and Becca, my daughter-in-law, and two brothers, Jim and David. And then there's a number of other people. So it's a great family atmosphere. It's a family-run organization, and really it is all about family. But we're disrupting an industry. And when I say we're disrupting an industry, just like Uber and taxis and Airbnb with short-term or vacation rentals, we're doing the same thing with senior housing. And the opportunity is huge because of the baby boomers, the silver tsunami of seniors that we simply cannot stop. Now, tonight, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 ways you can get involved, the best ways to do that. In addition to that, I'm going to share with you briefly the 5 keys to success in doing it. And I'm going to go through that, lay it out for you. In addition to that, I've got something extra, something that I really have never shared before. I'm sharing it with you. And that's because you guys, I know you guys, when you're with Don Protect Wealth, you're with Kendall, you're kind of a step above. So I'm sharing something with you. It's a formula that I call the OLO formula. If you're going to invest in residential assisted living, here's the 3 key things that you need to know. So we got a lot to cover, and here we go. First of all, we've been training people how to do what I do, own and operate these residential assisted living homes for about 7 years now. And I remember we were in one of our classes, there was a couple, Mike and Nancy from California. And at the end of it, Mike just sat back and rubbed his beard and he said, this just checks all my boxes. And I said, well, what do you mean? And he gave me this list. It's rewarding, unlimited income potential. It doesn't require me to work 40 hours a week. It gives me time and financial freedom. And those two are the same because money does get you the freedom to do what you want with your time and meaningful. This is something he's saying I would do even if you didn't pay me to do. And it gives you financial security in a downturn. That's pretty important these day and age. And building and passing on a legacy. So I said, can I borrow that? And he said, absolutely. So I shared it with you. Now, I want you to know I've been doing business for a long, long time. As a matter of fact, my first real estate was 18 years old. In addition, my first commercial real estate was 25. Now, I'm a lot older than that. So that was like 4 years ago. No, I'm kidding. It's about 40 years ago. I've had 20 plus businesses in the last 40 plus years. I've been a professional musician, a small record label, recording studio, a certified financial planner in the US and licensed in Australia. I've trained over 300,000 people worldwide on business, entrepreneurship, stock, and everything in between. But right now, in addition to that, I've written books, hosted radio shows. The most recent radio show was called Second Wind Success, helping baby boomers discover their second wind in business and in life. Our first book in assisted living was The Insider's Guide to Investing in Senior Housing. And the most recent book, and at the end, I'm going to share how you can get a copy of this as my gift to you, How to Start a Residential Assisted Living Business, The Blueprint. So we got a lot to cover, but I want to segue back. I've been married for 34 years, coming up to my 35th wedding anniversary. Mona is incredible. And I have 4 amazing kids. You've seen 3 of the 4. The 4th one just graduated from college, on his way to dentist school, on the way to being an orthodontist, and 2 grandkids. So that's me on a personal side before we get into the business part. Now, I know many of you know this guy, Robert Kiyosaki, in his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I remember the first time I met Robert, he came up to me and he pulled on my sleeve and he said, hey, you're the assisted living guy. I've got some questions for you. And I'm like, whoa, moment of Zen. Robert Kiyosaki's asking me questions. And he started to hammer me with questions about a property that he had, he's thinking about converting it into, and him and Kim were thinking about doing this, and what do I think? And so it was really cool to be able to build that relationship. But you know Robert's message, if you've ever read that book, it's all about getting out of the rat race. If you've ever played his game, Cash Flow, which is pretty cool, when you play the game, the first thing they do is they say, here's your job and here's your income. Your goal is to create enough residual income to cover that so you can quit the job and do fun things, have control of your life. So what's your number? If you got a pad and a pen, I want you to write it down right now. As a matter of fact, I want you to go ahead and put it in the Q&A. What's your number? How much do you need on a monthly basis to pay all of your bills? Now, I don't mean pie in the sky, give me $1 million a month, I'll figure it out. I mean, what does it cost for the house, the car, the kids, the fun, the food? Write it down. What's that number? Go ahead and write it in the Q&A. Good. Now, I see some of you writing it down there. That's good. Good to see you then, Ken, as well. Now, some of you wrote down $5,000 a month. Some of you wrote down $15,000 a month. You know, if your number is $10,000 a month or less, I can show you how to do that with just one single family home. Getting out of the rat race, it's your number. We have a national convention. It was our 4th annual convention is coming up this October. And last year we had amazing guests. We had Robert Kiyosaki, a friend who came out as his accountant, Tom Wheelwright. In addition, we had the most interesting man in the world, Jonathan Goldsmith, who's become a friend. You know him as the Dos Equis beer spokesperson, but he's actually been in films, movies for 60 years, been in 350 films. And we know him from one thing, beer commercials, bad beer commercials. But it was fun to bring those two together. And when I remember sitting down with I'm going to play this for you, but sitting with Robert and saying, I want to introduce you to the most interesting man in the world. And he's like,
so what Gene's in charge of is this organization called Residential Assisted Living. In your opinion, is that the best real estate play to be in?
It is, because I always tell people, because the baby boom was so large, everything they do as they age is the best sector. People say millennials, there's more millennials. Bull. They're not as big a wave. They're a fraction of the wave. So what assisted living and nursing homes do, they play the last stage of the baby boomers, the largest generation in history, and nobody sees it coming. Nobody.
no, we do.
You do. Nobody sees. I bring this up and people say, Harry, what are you smoking? There's the baby boomers already retired. They're already in assisted living. No, they're just starting.
Yeah.
In 2018.
Oh, yeah.
They got 26, 28 years of nonstop growth. Yeah. Nothing will grow faster and nobody will see it coming.
You know, it's pretty cool when you have guys like Robert Kiyosaki and sharing that kind of information and just being so excited. And I remember when he first talked about it and heard about it, and he was talking about his involvement, what it is he's going to do and how he's going to get involved. And it was pretty darn interesting right there. All right, I want to go back to the other screen. How do I do that? Kendall, can you flip me back?
Let's try. Let's see how we get. I think so.
I know it's in here somewhere. It's in the sharing screen. I found it. Sorry, man.
There you go. You got it. Okay. You got it. Good job.
Oh, that's funny. So, again, when Robert asked me about assisted living, he's got a big project going right now, $120 million project, by the way, which is a pretty cool project, a large project. And in that project, he's got a big box facility going in. So when I say a big box facility, I mean something where it's 100 beds, 200 beds, that size, that style. What we do is something very, very different. So with Robert, it started off with an investment. With Jonathan, who's 82 years old, you see him right there, the most interesting man in the world. He's looking at it from his perspective, saying someday meaning him, he may need this kind of help and assistance. But I know for me, it all begins someplace. And for me, it was a phone call. And I remember it was my sister Ann. She gave me a call, and it was about 7 o'clock at night in Arizona, about 10 o'clock at night on the East Coast. And she called and she said, Gene, Mom fell out of bed. My heart stopped. And what am I going to do? I'm thousands of miles away. And I said, what happened? She said she fell out of bed. And as she was trying to get back into bed, she leaned against the footboard and cracked a rib. She's on the way to the hospital. You got to get out here right away. Guys, my heart stopped. I was thinking business. I was thinking opportunity. This is Mom. That's when things got really, really real for me. You see, I had heard about this just like many of you a long time ago, but it wasn't until Mom needed help that it became real. Because then we were faced with those questions. Who's going to watch Mom? Who can quit their job and take care of her firsthand? And if not, who are we going to hire to come into the home to take care of Mom? And if we can't do that, we may need to put Mom into a home. And as soon as we said that out loud, you felt guilty. Now, guys, some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. And our experience was just like millions of people out there in our country today. We couldn't find a place that we felt good about, comfortable, bringing our own mom, that they're going to love her and take care of her the way we would. Although we didn't have the energy, the time, the ability to do it ourselves, we're going to take care of her. So at that point, we couldn't find what we wanted. So I said, I'm going to create it. And that was the beginning of the Residential Assisted Living Academy. We created the first home. People asked me immediately, will you show me how? And I said, yes. And it began. And now we do classes where people come from all over the US, even all over the world, and they're learning how to do this so they can take care of not only their moms, their dads, but other people too. So this is kind of dedicated to my mother. This picture right here is a picture of my daughter, Victoria, my oldest, my first, her daughter, her first, and my mom. It was about 6 months before Mom passed away. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, hey, I'm sorry you lost your mom. Well, I didn't lose her. I know exactly where she is. So if you want to have that conversation, we can. But I wanted to make sure that my mother had a chance to meet her great-granddaughter, her one and only. And she did. But you can see that lap belt around Mom. She was needing help and assistance. And my sister, Chris, was taking care of Mom in her own home as best she could. We had caregivers coming in to take care of Mom, and she eventually passed away there. I wish I had had my home up in time for her to move into. If she was able to move into the home, she would have been able to live like a queen in the master bedroom, getting served hand and foot, and having 9 or 10 other people in the home paying $5,000-6,000 a month. So she wouldn't have paid a dime. It would have been free. Now I'm saying that to you because you're all going to get involved one way or the other, but some of you right now have parents, grandparents. Some of them are in homes right now. You're not sure what's going on, and it's out of control. Right now, with what's going on in our world today, it's kind of nuts out there. But it's really good for me to know that I'm in control of the homes that we own, of the people that come in, of how they're treated and respected and cared for. So it's a do good and do very well opportunity for us. So that's where it began for me, but it should begin for you with the why. Why? Why should I do this at all? Why me and why now? Those are the 3 questions that I want you to answer tonight in the next 45 minutes. Now, I know when I asked you, how much do you need? A lot of you came up with the number. Gene, if I had $10,000 a month, all my bills would be paid. I'd live happily ever after. Great. Now, if we can do that with one single family home, is that worth learning? Is that worth investing some time and effort into doing? Well, that's exactly what I do and what I'm going to teach you how to do as well. So, Gene, what are the options for a single family home in our world today? Well, you can start like most people in real estate and do fix and flip or wholesale and make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, maybe more, maybe less. But as soon as you sell it, you're out of a job. You're unemployed. You got to go find the next one. And it's competitive out there. Every new HGTV show, flipping this, flipping that, brings thousands of new people into the market, making it more competitive for all of us. Or you can do buy and hold, and that's what most people progress to. They start with the quick cash, then they move into the buy and hold and make $100 a month per door. If it's an apartment building with 100 units, they make $10,000 a month, as long as nobody trashes the apartment on the way out to kind of get them back to break even. So then people say, well, let me take a single family home and turn it into a group home. Instead of renting out the home for $2,000, I'll rent out each one of the bedrooms for $1,000 a month to a student or a senior. Now that's good. You can increase your cash flow that way, or vacation rentals. Now I put Airbnb, but short-term rentals. Instead of long-term rentals, short-term rentals, we can charge more. Now there's a lot more moving parts, and it's all good until it's not. I've been saying for years, Airbnb, short-term rentals is great, but as soon as the economy turns down, the first thing that goes is vacations. We all know that. I've had to cancel 3 or 4 trips this year already. I just booked another one Airbnb in Myrtle Beach, and I booked another one in Hawaii for next year. But the other 3 that I canceled, they're gone. Those people who own those homes will never get that income. Who would have thought they would have shut them down? You know, you can make good money there, but I will say this, when it comes to owning and operating a residential assisted living home, no interruption in business there. It's beyond essential. It's mom. So those homes are full, the cash is flowing. The people who are paying the bill, they're not in a job that they got laid off from. And it's not the senior who's 85 years old who's living in the home that's paying that bill. It's their kids who are 50 and 60, who maybe mom and dad left money or a house or whatever it may be, but the assets are in place. They're not worried about a job to pay for mom and dad's care. We're in a great position. This is a great time to be in this industry, and it's just going to get better and better and better. Wayne Gretzky, the great one in hockey, is always asked the question, how are you so good? And he said, well, I just go to where the puck is going, not to where it's been. So where was it? It was in foreclosures, short sales, REOs. It was in, let's buy an apartment building, have a 10 or 12 cap. Now those same apartment buildings are selling for twice the price, and the cap rate is 5% if you're lucky. Today with residential assisted living, it's a beautiful place to be in business and in real estate. So what is this, Gene, that you're even talking about? Well, it's a group residence for seniors where their activities of daily living are taken care of. So what's an ADL? Everything you did after you hit the snooze alarm this morning. So whether it's bathing, dressing, eating, medication management, but nobody moves into assisted living unless they need assistance. Now, when I say senior housing and assisted living, this is what most people think of. An old hospital that was converted into. You put some barbed wire on the roof, that's a prison. That's not what we do. Or the Golden Girls, the show from the 80s where 4 mature women living together in community co-housing. That's not what we do either. It's right in between those two. It is a residential home in a residential setting, but it's not a nursing home. It's not doctors and nurses and gurneys. And it's not 4 people taking care of themselves. There's caregivers taking care of those residents. But nobody moves in there unless they need assistance. Inside the home, it's a nice home. It's a beautiful home. All the furnishing is there, so the senior moves in and doesn't need to bring anything with them besides their own personal belongings, clothes, etc. And it's a group of seniors that live in the home. It's not a mom, a dad, 2 kids, and a dog. It's seniors who are living there in community with a group of peers. Now, there might be 10 or 12 of those seniors in that home. They may be sharing bedrooms or in private bedrooms. But the bottom line is, sorry, I'm going to turn off my phone. The bottom line is those people are being taken care of. It's not just a rental home where they're living in that home. They're being taken care of. Those caregivers are taking care of their every need. But it's a home, not a hospital. So that's why I put this picture up here. It's not doctors and nurses and gurneys. They can have a beverage. They can have a party. They're in bed by 7:15, so it's okay. But the reality is we come visit them. The kids, the grandkids come visit them at the home. They stay there 24/7. The caregivers come in and take care of them as well. Now I'm going to go into all the numbers and all the money you can make and why you should do this from a financial perspective. But I want to share with you our motto. Our motto is do good and do well. Do well means make a lot of money. And I think everybody wants to do that. Doing good, well, that's helping other people, leaving the world a better place. And the combination of being able to do good and do well is a powerful combination. This is a little example of the doing good. This right here, these are thank you notes from residents' families saying, thank you for taking care of mom. Thank you for taking care of dad. That's powerful stuff as they're dropping off a check for $5,000 for that month's taking care of mom and dad. But what is it you really want? You want to be at the right place at the right time. And with senior housing, you are. You see, I say baby boomers, but the front edge of the baby boomers, they're only 72, 73. That front edge of the baby boomers, they're typically not in assisted living. They're 10 years out. So it's like seeing a tsunami 10 years in advance. We know exactly when it's going to hit the shore. We know exactly what's happening and what's coming. That's a huge advantage in life. If you knew the stock market was going to rise 40% in the last 3 months, would you have gotten in at that time? Yeah. Well, we know exactly what's going to happen with senior housing because right now, this business is good. But 10 years from now, when this wall of seniors comes to shore, oh, it's off the chart. This is the best place to be in business and real estate for the next 20 years. So what is it you really want? Well, you want to be in the right place at the right time, but you want less competition. You see, when I share with real estate investors, what are you doing? And I say fix and flip, wholesale, foreclosures, vacation rentals, rental homes, apartments, storage units, mobile homes, they all raise their hand. And then when I say, well, who's doing senior housing? Nobody raises their hand. You'll be the only one. I'd rather be the only one than one of many, many with lots of competition. So what's the future? What's coming? Well, you don't need a crystal ball to know. With 77 million baby boomers, there's an average of 10,000 people a day turning 65. More importantly, 4,000 a day turning 85. Add that up, that's 1.4 million people this year alone turning 85. They are all not going to move into assisted living, but hundreds of thousands of them will. And there's no room in the inn. There's about 1 million beds in assisted living in America today, and they're full with waiting lists. That's a huge opportunity or a crisis, depending on which side of that coin or how you look at that equation. 90% of all seniors would rather stay at home, of course, but 70% will need help with those activities of daily living. So my crystal ball tells me clearly they're going to need a home, they're going to need assistance, and that's a huge opportunity. And it's not just me. Our guest at keynote speaker at last year's national convention, Harry S. Dent Jr., the opportunity of our lifetimes. That's a bold statement. In real estate development and investing is likely to be nursing homes and assisted living facilities. Wow, that's powerful. Now, I don't want to be in competition with Brookdale, Sunrise, Atria, with their country club like 100-bed, 200-bed facilities. That's not what we do. And your mom doesn't want to move into a hotel. She wants to stay at home, not home-like, but in a home. And if it's a home in that neighborhood with 9 people, her own age peers, where she's taken care of, not locked in a room and neglected, well, guys, that's the opportunity with residential assisted living. Now, I know you have a lot of questions, and there are things like this. Well, Gene, I'm not in the medical field. Can I do this? Yes, you don't need any experience at all. Well, Gene, I have a home that I have right now. Can I use that? The answer is maybe, but just because you can doesn't mean you should. Well, Gene, how much can I make doing this? A lot. I'll get there. But you have a lot of questions. So the 3 best ways to participate. First, there's 2 areas, business and real estate. You can participate in either or both. So let's start with the first opportunity. Own the real estate and lease it to an operator. Why might you want to do that? Well, I'll give you 3 main reasons. 1, charge a higher rent, up to twice the market rent. 2, have a long-term low impact tenant. You see, the tenant's not the senior who moves in the home. It's the person who's operating the residential assisted living business. Now, I just said business. Gene, you can't have a business in a residential home. Well, it's a group home for the elderly, protected by the Federal Fair Housing Act. There's almost 30,000 of these homes across America, and I own them, and many of our students do too, so you definitely can do what we do. We do know all the answers to the HOAs and how it's done and all of that. Don't worry, that's what we train people to do. But the third, significant residual income. You see, when I was 18 years old and had a rental property and made $100 a month, that was exciting. Today, $100 a month doesn't pay for a round of golf and lunch. So we need more than that. So to get $10,000 a month at $100 a month, I'd need 100 of those homes and no problems and no vacancy. Fat chance of that. So one home with residential assisted living, if I could make 10,000, and if I had more than one home, a 3-pack as we call it, well, that's significant residual income. Option 2, own the real estate and operate the business. That's where I'm going to spend more time on tonight. But option 3 is be the money, be a private lender or a joint venture partner. You see, I know that some of you listening right now, you've got money sitting in a bank and you don't know what to do with it. Or maybe it's in the stock market and you're saying, man, thank God it came back, but what about tomorrow? Anything could happen. And with an election looming, it will. So you're wondering what to do, but guys, get this. I guarantee you, wherever you live in the country, wherever you are right now, within 10, 20 miles of where you are, the people that live there represent hundreds of millions of dollars sitting in the bank, sitting in their IRA, sitting in cash, doing nothing. So they want to invest. They're just waiting for you to come to them and present yourself properly. That's what we do, is help you get there. So Gene, how much does it cost to live in assisted living? Because some of you don't even know. Well, I'm going to give you the facts and figures. This is according to Genworth. They're a long-term care insurance company. And on Genworth, they have a website, genworth.com/cost of care. It'll explain to you that the average in America today is currently $4,051 per person per month for a private room in assisted living. Now, that's an average. And California is more expensive than Mississippi, right? So it's an average. But let's just use 4,000, nice round number. And let's say we had 10 residents. Some areas you can have up to 16. Some it's unlimited. Some limit you to 6. But let's say it's 10. It makes easy math. Potential gross income on this average home, average America, of $40,000 a month. Well, Gene, what's the overhead for this kind of a business? Well, it's just like your own budget at home. All the things you have, cable, internet, food, phone, fun. In the middle, it talks about caregivers and facility manager. That's your biggest single expense, the people taking care of the people. So the caregivers and the managers. And by the way, no, I don't want you to be the caregiver or you to be the manager. That's not your job, your highest and best use. We're going to hire somebody to do that. Well, Gene, I don't want employees. Neither do I. But do you want to do everything yourself? Of course not. So we need to bring people in on our team, and we'll show you how to do that too. You know, it's interesting. 6 months ago, people would say, oh, unemployment is so low. How am I going to find somebody? Well, problem solved. There's a ton of people out there. But the same person who's a barista is not going to be working at Home Depot. They're not going to be working as a waitress. The people that take care of seniors love to take care of seniors. We've had some caregivers with us for years and years, and I know of caregivers that have been caregivers for decades, and they're really good at what they do. So I'm going to give you two numbers, 25,000 and 15,000. That's a big difference between those two. The big difference is you doing it yourself. You're the manager, you're the caregiver, you're the cook, the baker, and the candlestick maker, or doing it the way our formula shows you, where you hire the manager, they get the caregivers, they train them and retain them, and they fill the home and the cash flows. Your job is to go get the next one and the next one. So let's use the bigger number, because I want you to be hands-off, not hands-on. I want you to operate like a business. So the one more piece is the real estate, the home, the house. Now, in average America, a home might cost $300,000. In California, the average home is 5 times that. In someplace else, it's a third of that. We're just talking average. But if I were to say, let's have $5,000 in debt service or rent, well, that should be twice the average what it would cost to buy or rent that property, because I want to fit it inside the scenario I just gave you. This is average in America today. With the average, that still leaves you with $10,000 a month, $120,000 a year, and that's just one of these homes. And if you have one, it's actually easier to have more than one. That 3-pack, that combination gives you the economies of scale. The manager can manage more than one house. It's not a full-time job to manage one. The caregivers can be shared amongst the homes, the economies of scale of buying supplies. But I just want you to think a little bit bigger and nicer, because some of you right now, you've got somebody in assisted living. And if I were to ask you, how much does it cost? You'd say, Gene, I wish I could find it for $4,000. You're paying 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I've heard up to $15,000 a month. And some of you are saying, Gene, how in the world do people pay it? We'll get there. But let's just go up a little bit, $5,000 a month. That's the same $25,000 in expenses. Let's go to a little bit nicer home. Instead of $5,000, it's $7,000. Now you're netting $18,000 a month, $216,000 a year. Now, if you can't get by on $18,000 a month, well, go bigger, do more, or stop what you're doing and spend less. Now let's go a little bigger and nicer. You know, Texas is a big state. In the state of Texas, you can have up to 16 people So I'm going to put 15. 6,000, that's just a little bit nicer, just a little bit above average. In some areas, that is the average. There's some states, and I'll show you in a bit, where the average is much higher than that. But that's potential gross income from a single family home of 90,000 a month. Let's increase the expenses by 10,000, get an extra caregiver. Let's get a chef with a white jacket, white hat, doing cook to order breakfast, cook to order lunch, serving gourmet meals in between, all of that. And now the debt service. Let's increase it from 7 to 10. So now you got a mansion, the nicest home in your area, and now you're netting 45 or 540 a year. Guys, if you can't get by on that, something's seriously wrong. Doing good and doing very, very well. Now, there's 5 keys to success, and it starts with location. So let me explain what I mean. It's not mountaintop and oceanfront, it's the demographics. So level 5 is the nicest home in the area. So whatever's the nicest area in your town, that's level 5. Level 1, the area you wouldn't slow down the car, let alone drop mom off, right? The sweet spot is level 3 and 4. So above the middle, not the top of the top, the cream of the crop, and certainly not the bottom. That demographic, what they can afford is that $4,000 to $8,000 per month. So it's not the low end where the state, Medicare, Medicaid will pay for, and it's not the top end where only the few richest people in town can afford. That sweet spot of $4,000 to $8,000 is our target. That's what we focus on. To give you a visual, this is an example of a level 1 or 2. This is a low-end house. Now, this was $330,000 for the real estate and the business combined. The real estate was worth $180,000. The business sold for $150,000. Pause. I'm talking about creating a business from nothing that you can sell in addition to the real estate for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, that's pretty cool if you caught what I just said. Now, the location, here's the location circled in blue. You can see it. And what you notice is the highway, which means convenience. There's people around it. So now satellite picture, taking a look, lots of houses, the green in the center, lots of homes. The question is, what level home? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As we zoom in, you can see not such a nice area. It's an average blue collar area. Now, how do I know that from just looking at the picture? Well, there's about 30 homes and there's about 10 pools. In Arizona, 70%, 2/3 and more, 70% of all homes have swimming pools. So here, less than 1/3 of them have swimming pools. This is not an average home, it's a below average level 1 or 2. Now, I explained that to you because I just showed you how in 2 minutes, instead of driving to the house and walking through it and saying, no, I can look at the satellite picture and know exactly, is this an area I should even be looking at? That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that sweet spot. Now, here's an example of a higher end home, a level 4 or 5. This home right here is one of my homes in Scottsdale, Arizona. It was a $800,000 home to buy, $200,000 in renovation. That's why I put the $1 million right there. Location, the green circle, you see it there. On the right, you see the highways, which means convenience. It's less than 2 miles to that highway. On the center top, you see the airport. That's not the Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. That's the Scottsdale, private jets, G5s, and big money. Top left is one of the top golf courses in the entire country. So all around it are hundreds and hundreds of homes. And when we zoom in, 10 homes, 10 pools. So I already know this is a very nice neighborhood. And you see the circular drive, that's a beautiful thing. And those of you who are wondering, Gene, do I need a pool? No, the seniors don't use the pool. They are not going to be out there doing water therapy and, synchronized swimming. I know you might be thinking that, but no, not going to do that. There's a lot to learn, I know. But that sweet spot, level 4 or 3, that's where I'm looking for. Now, the real estate and the business, the combination of the two is off the chart incredible. But if you just want to do the real estate, that's great. And if you just want to do the business, that's great. If you want to do them both, that's great too. So the system for evaluating a home, location is number 1. We cannot change it. There's a lot to learn. I just touched the tip of the iceberg. Zoning and HOAs, you need to know what the rules of the game are and how to play the game. We know how to, and we teach you how to. Square footage in general, bigger is better. Now, the state will allow you to do half of what we have for a rule of thumb. But the Residential Assisted Living Academy's rule of thumb is 300 square feet of living space per resident is very comfortable. So if you have a 3,000 square foot home, you could have 10 or 12 seniors in that home very comfortably. Now, in the state will allow you to do with a 15 or an 1,800 square foot home and have 10 seniors in it. I don't want you to do it that way. So the bigger, the better. The more bedrooms, the better. You can have 2 people in a bedroom, but private rooms are even better. So you got 3,000 square feet. We can make all kinds of bedrooms inside there. How many bathrooms do we need? A minimum of 2, but more is better. So the doors and the floors, wide doors, smooth floors, the flow of the home. These are all the things we look at to evaluate that home. So there's a lot to learn in here, but the real estate play is a wonderful play right now because there's a lot of big homes out there, inventory that people aren't buying because they don't need that big of a home. We can repurpose it for this use. Many times buying it at a better price per square foot. One of the major areas of renovation you'll do in the homes are things like converting bathrooms. Take out a bathtub, put a roll-in, walk-in shower. You should have at least one of these open showers. We call it a spa shower. If a resident needs help with bathing and showering, the caregiver can get in there and help. So we'll go through a lot of that in our training, but I just wanted to give you an idea. Location is about the demographics, not oceanfront, not mountaintop. We want it around a lot of people who have the right economic income so that they can pay for mom and dad's care. So we talk about team. This is critically important, and this is on the business side. And I want to introduce the concept of the three-legged stool. If you have a three-legged stool and one gets kicked out, that stool goes down. So all 3 legs are equally important: business, staff, and residents. We can't just be all about the money. People won't want to live in the home. We can't just be all about the people. We won't make enough money to pay the staff to take care of the people. It's a three-legged stool, and we really focus a lot on that. But your team is part of this business. So the first person is the administrator. This is the person who's in charge. This Mariella right here, I love her dearly. She was a caregiver for us. She became an assistant manager. She became a manager. And then I said, Mariella, what do you really want to do? She said, Gene, I want to open my own home. My response was, I'd hate to lose you, but how can I help you? She opened her first home. I even helped her fund and finance the second home. I was actually on the phone with her earlier today. She's a wonderful lady. So I'm pointing that out to you because the manager is the one who's taking care of the day-to-day, not me. And the caregivers are the one who are taking care of the residents day-to-day, not me and not you. Now, the caregivers, this is their job. It's what they do, and they love it. They're from all over the world. 2 main nationalities that make great caregivers and are in this industry: Filipino and Romanian. I don't know exactly why. All I'm telling you is probably 70% of the people who are caregivers or owners of these homes are either Filipino and Romanian. Now, we're changing that at the REL Academy, but a lot to learn about them and what they need to know and the qualifications. I get that. Food preparation. Well, typically it's the caregivers, but if you have more of an upscale home, you might have a chef with a white jacket and a white hat. Now your home is well above average. In addition, independent contractors. So the caregivers have to show up at a certain day and time. They're an employee, but the manager, they don't need to show up at a certain day, a certain time. They're 24/7. Whatever needs to get done, you do it. They could be an independent contractor. In addition, hairdresser, yoga, music therapy, pet therapy, handyman, tradesmen, all of those we use as needed, and they can work for other people. Now, I know I'm going through this fast, but I'll share with you how you can get all the detail. Third is the clients. Well, who is your client really? It's not that senior who lives in the home. They're not making the decision on where and how much. It's their kids. The kids and the grandkids. The kids might be 50 and 60, where the parent is 80 and 90. They're the ones who are choosing the home based on the location and based on the cost, how much they have and how much mom and dad have. Filling the home. If you know what you're doing, the filling the home begins before you even open the home. But you do need a website, flyers, brochures, business cards, a sign in the front if you can, and there's tricks to the trade to make that happen, even in a residential setting. Having an open house. Once you're open, referrals from people. We show you how to get them. That's your fastest way to fill the home and the best way to fill it. Relationships, hospice. People are in their homes right now being visited by hospice, and hospice workers are saying you need 24/7 care. We get referrals from them, and we can't even pay them for it. And placement agencies. There's professionals that place seniors in these homes. That's their job, to fill our homes. So 5 keys to success. The next one, getting paid. Where does the money come from? Well, not focusing on Medicare and Medicaid, guys. That's not what we do, because the state is only going to pay about $2,000 a month, a little more, a little less, depending on the state. But that includes their Social Security, their pension, or any income or assets they have. Then they top it off to about $2,000 a month. If the average bed in America today is $4,000 a month, $2,000 a month is going to be a very substandard home. And I can't, as a businessman, make good money doing that or provide great service or a great home. So subsidized by the VA. If someone is a vet, they can go to the VA. The VA will provide some money for them that they can use towards their long-term care. But I don't apply for it. They apply for it, and then they get the money and pay it to us. I'm okay with that, but I'm not focused just on that. Long-term care insurance, I put it in gold because if somebody walks in our home and says, I've got a John Hancock policy, a metropolitan policy, that's a beautiful thing. And we love that, but it doesn't happen very often. And then cash, IRAs, investments, somebody's home being sold and that money being used, that's where the money typically comes from. And after all of that money is spent and gone, let the kids figure it out. And they do. So the kids who are 50 and 60, they take care of it. And I know what you're saying. Well, Gene, what happens if and when they run out of money? Well, the kids will pull money out of their pocket to pay for it. It's a very rare instance where they say, we're going to move mom into a government subsidized place after all these years. They're going to simply pay for it. Now, there's a lot of nuance, and I'm going through this very quickly, but I've got some gifts for you at the end. Systems, by the way, you need systems for everything in the real estate, how to find it, acquire it, renovation, and then the team building. We need to identify the right people, train them, retain them. That's all part of it too. We have systems for that at the REL Academy. In addition, the operations, now we don't focus a lot on that because we're not the manager or the caregiver, but we do have policies and procedures. Here's exactly how you do it. Here's how somebody moves in, moves out, scheduling, everything is there. In addition to that, you need emergency plans. What happens if? All of that is part of that policies and procedures, the menus, the scheduling. The funding, there's 7 different ways to fund these projects. Right now, SBA is paying for the first 6 months of SBA loans. If you close on it quickly, because there's some opportunity right now, 6 months free mortgage payments. We have students that are getting tens of thousands of dollars, and the SBA is just paying for the next 6 months. It's incredible. But we'll show you 7 different ways, and then partners. Should you? And if you do, how would you? So the 3 best ways to participate, the 5 keys to being successful in this, and now the formula that I said I was going to share with you. This is for those of you that are saying, I think I want to be an investor. I got the money. I don't want to own the real estate, don't want to operate the business, but if I just want to invest, what do I need to look for? Well, here's 3 key words. Opportunity first. The opportunity. Is there a need for it? Now, this goes to anything you're looking to invest in. Is there a need for it? If you're looking to invest in oil and gas, is there a need for it? Is there a need for senior housing? Well, I've shown you the charts. Is there demand right now? Is this good now? Well, I showed you the charts. It is good now. The homes are full and they can't build them fast enough. Third, do the fundamentals work? If there is a need and there is a demand, can I charge enough and make enough so there's a profit? Well, first of all, let me show this chart. 1960, you see the breakdown of male and female and all of the age group that goes with it. In 2060, and we're almost there now, you can see it went from a few million people of 75 and above to tens of millions of people. That is a huge opportunity because the kids of those seniors who are 80 and 90 years old, they're looking for a place for mom and dad right now. Can you do this? Can you make money? Do the fundamentals work? Oh yeah, they work really, really, really well. Now, the next one, the L is for location. You know, I went over it briefly, but when we talk about location, the demographics, that's really the key. It's not, are there trees? Is it an ocean? Is it a mountaintop? It's the demographic, who lives there? And then the current competition. How many beds are there? How do we find that out? What do they charge? And then the future opportunity. See, we know how to look at the demographics of how many people are there, how many are of a certain age, what percentage are going to need assisted living, how many beds are there today, are they full, and how many more beds are needed. So that formula is there. We know it clearly. So the OLO, and we talked about level 5 and level 1 and the sweet spot in between, so we know where we want to be positioned for success. And then the final O is the operator. If you're not going to be the operator, if you're not going to own the business or be a partner in it, that's fine, but you need to know who that operator is. And what I'm looking for is, if I can find it, somebody with experience. They've got a home or 2 or 3 and they want to expand into another. That's a good one. Or 2, they've got knowledge and training. So when we say knowledge and training, that's what we do at the REL Academy. We train people from all over the country and even internationally, they come to learn how to do this. So they've got the training and the knowledge. And then is there an alignment of values? Now, when I say that, here's what I mean. If somebody's all about the money and you're more about people, you've got a heart, it's not a good alignment of values. If somebody's all about the money and you're about people, it won't fit. If they're all about the people and you are all about the money, it's not a good fit. There has to be an alignment of values. Now, Mariella, in an alignment of values, she loves those seniors and she understands the business. Before she left, I asked her, please train an assistant who can move up to manager, and she did. And now we train people. And many of these people are in class and they're saying, hey, I don't really want the real estate. Somebody else can. I just want to operate the business. And you want to connect with those people. When we do our live trainings, and we do those 8 times a year in Phoenix, Arizona, and we're doing one coming up in July, and we did one in June, and yep, we're still doing them live. It's a fun experience, but it's an incredible experience to see it when we go in and see those homes. But I have some good news for you, and I've got an opportunity I'm going to share with you right now. Yes, you can do very well, but you can do a lot of good as well. When I talk about the 3-pack, you are the owner. You're the business manager. We can have more than one home within a 20-minute radius. That 3-pack is a wonderful opportunity. If each one of those homes is netting you $10,000 a month, 10 times 3 is plenty. Now, you can do nicer homes than I suggest you do, but you're catching this. So who's getting this and can see yourself doing it? And if you're saying, well, yeah, I really am. And as a matter of fact, Gene, I've been thinking about doing this for a long, long time. Well, good. I'm glad you're here. We've got students all over the country. Brad and Angie in Kansas, he's a builder. He said, Gene, I'm going to build my own. And he did. This home itself is off the chart. It's got 14 beds. And in that home, he gets an average of $6,700 per resident. He's full with a waiting list, and he built another one on the same plot of land right behind it. Justin and his business partner, Kalen, they did a beautiful home, and it just came out gorgeous. I love what they did. And they're in the Kansas area too. Wendy came to our national convention and said, Gene, I did your home study course. My family has 4 of these homes, and gave me a big hug. Jennifer right here and Mitch, they have 7 homes in Colorado. They're there doing the proverbial ribbon cutting on their 7th home with the Chamber of Commerce. Jay and his wife, they're pregnant right now, got 2 homes in Texas, and Donald and Talinda here. These two are just a wonderful, wonderful couple. Heart is huge. He built this home. He's a luxury home builder. And he said, Gene, I can do that part. We have students doing brand new homes as well as conversions. Lo is on his 5th conversion right now. He focuses on memory care in small homes in Texas. Carla Lee, she did her first home within 5 months of leaving the class. She had 9 homes within less than 3 years. She now works with us as part of our support staff. We've got students all over the country, California, Utah. I love it when families do this too. My family's involved, their family's involved, and we just love to see that because even the kids can get involved. I will say this too. This is the first time my wife is involved in the business really directly, hands-on, and loves it too. Sean and his wife, Marissa, they've got their 2 homes, and Rocky and Sherry, they're on their 4th home. It's just so fun to see these pictures. So, Gene, how can I learn more about this? Well, I'm going to give you a couple of opportunities. First of all, I want you to know that in the past 7 years, we have done some tremendous training. We have trained thousands of people across the country. Up until just recently, we had an online training and we had a live in-person training in Phoenix, Arizona. And right now, I'm announcing to you, we have a virtual training. And I'm so excited about this because we did our very first virtual training 2 weeks ago, and it was off the chart. People were so excited. And I'll be frank, I was kind of worried the virtual tours, the ability to go into the homes, how's this going to work out? It was off the chart. The great thing is it's a live training, and in this live training, everything that happens is right there. But in the virtual training, we were able to translate it so it got even better. And that's what I love. See, right now you're in your own home, and we're doing this, having this experience together. Now, I wish we could be in the same room, but at this moment in time, being able to do it virtually, a whole lot more convenient. So what will be covered? Well, first of all, there's people from all over the country who came, and we had an incredible class. We had to limit the class size. As a matter of fact, we cut it off. Now I'm going to be giving you the first opportunity, and I save spots for you in the training that we have coming up in July. And I'm going to explain that in just a moment. But what you're going to learn at this training when you come is the best opportunities in your area, how to determine if a property is right, how to attract investors and partners. I personally have raised millions and millions and helped our students raise tens of millions, and we'll share those secrets with you. In addition, how to make your life easy by bringing in the right team, and how to get it done with or without your own money in the next 3 to 6 months. Frankly, one deal, one of these homes by the end of this year, you can be financially free. You don't have to worry about snorting exhaust going to your job or anything else. You don't even have to go to the home. We'll share with you how to do it hands-on or hands-off. Now, the first day is classroom immersion. We share a ton of information with you. Get ready, buckle down. I gave you a lot in less than an hour. You're going to get a ton during that day. Finding, filling, funding, licensing, marketing, analyzing, architecture review, staffing, and more. In the live classroom, you can see it's a packed room. Those classes are limited, but we are still doing the live class, but I'm going to be suggesting you come to the virtual class coming up. Day 2, the virtual tours of the homes, not only my homes, but our students' homes, going in through the homes live with the caregivers, with the managers, seeing the residents, seeing the homes. It was so exciting. It was so much fun. So that right there, learning the information with the context, not just information, here's a house, no, the context of being inside the home live at that moment, it was off the chart. People absolutely loved that. The learning experience was huge, and especially because we can do it virtually. And day 3, the capital stack, putting the money together. How do we do this? How do we raise the capital? How do we work with joint ventures, put together the business plan? All of the money side is covered on day 3. And at the end, you're given the RELS certification. So it gives you credibility. So you can put that in your business card and on your website. And then I can come see your home, visit your home, and give you we call it an award, but a plaque that goes right there on the mantle inside the home. Now, the live training itself, if you've ever heard of us before, thought about coming to our training itself, you know that the training is $49.97. Well, Gene, why is it so much? Well, number one, it's a limited class size. We don't want thousands of people, even hundreds of people. We want the right people. And that's one way to get them there, is by charging them enough so that they're serious when they come. Now, you know that I'm going to give you a discount, and I'm going to give you a discount on a discount. Just stick with me for just a moment. Now, you'll notice at the bottom of the screen, there's a website. Write that down, rala.live/protect. Write that down. You're going to see it. But first of all, those of you who have been to our website or called us before at any time, you know that we typically do our live training and we discount it to $29.97, which is great. But I'm going to give you something even more. In addition to that, I'm going to give you a couple of bonuses for taking action tonight, here tonight. As a matter of fact, where I am, it's almost 6:30. I don't know where you are. It might be 9:30 or 6:30 or somewhere in between. But the offer I'm going to give you tonight is going to be good until 6:30 tomorrow night. So you're going to have the opportunity to take advantage of it for 24 hours. Because I'm going to give you a special code word that you're going to put in. It's going to give you an additional significant discount. So get ready to write that down. But number one, when you sign up, we're going to send you 6 of our 36 lessons that we have. 6 of those we're going to send to you as the foundations course, so you'll have that information before you even come to the training. 2, we're going to give you a copy of my book, Blueprint. So I'm going to share that, so you'll have that copy of Blueprint. That book itself, my gift to you for enrolling, taking action tonight. In addition to that, we created this really cool tool that we call the REL Profitability Calculator. And this tool allows you to quickly analyze how much money you can make with a residential assisted living home. You can use it on your phone, use it on your computer, and it's our gift to you, and you'll have access to that. We call it the REL PC. So you've got that, and I've got one more gift for you. For the next 24 hours, or right on the half hour, you're going to receive an additional $1,000 discount, making that not $49.97, but $19.97. So the promo word is protect. Notice it's all in capital letters, P-R-O-T-E-C-T, P-R-O-T-E-C-T, all capital letters. And I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like. When you go to that website, rala.live/protect, you're going to see this screen right here. There's a video of me on the top. Then you see on the right-hand side, it says register now. You can see that we have training dates there, July, August, October, and December. Those are our 4 virtual training dates for the rest of the year. Pick one of those dates. If you need to change it later, that's fine. But if you're going to come to the July one, that will sell out. Do it right now. That July 1, 24, 5, 6, the schedule and everything that's going to be covered is right there on the website as well. So when you press that button where it says register now, you're going to see this screen, and it's going to be discounted to the $29.97. But I told you that I'm giving you a promo code. So right where it says promo, I want you to put in the word protect, all capital letters, PROTECT. When you do that, then press the button that says apply. So put in the word protect, all caps, then press the button that says apply. And when you do, you'll see the price discounted by an additional $1,000. That's our gift to you. Taking action now. By the way, if you've got a spouse, a business partner, kids, somebody in your family that wants to learn this too, let them look over your shoulder and learn and watch and learn with you too. When you come to the live training, we charge $29.97 and $1,000 for a partner to come. And people always bring their spouse, always bring their partner. We want you to. We want them to learn. But in your case, you sign up and you can have that business partner right there with you. Now, I laid that all out for you. That discount itself is huge and significant. It's for the next 24 hours. We're going to cover a lot of ground during those 3 days together. And in the virtual training itself, we'll go into a lot more detail on what I shared with you here tonight. And you're going to know step by step exactly what to do. By the time you're done, you're going to know the best way for you to get involved. You're going to truly understand the three-legged stool and why each and every one of those legs is critically important. And you'll understand what I mean by a three-pack. And we have students who their goal is not to have one home, not even 3 homes, but have 100 homes. Then to package them together and sell them off to the hedge funds for hundreds of millions of dollars. So guys, yes, you can scale this. You can take this as big as you want. The need is here, the need is coming, and we have a mission. I think everybody needs a personal mission. We have a business mission statement, and here it is. We actually claimed this about 2.5 years ago. The goal is to have positively impact 1 million people by the end of 2020 by providing safe, high-quality assisted living homes and businesses. Now, 1 million people is a lot. I have homes that are licensed for 10 seniors, but I've also been at birthday parties for those seniors where there's 80 or 100 people there. And that's when it dawned on us. When we have a senior in that home, we're not just positively impacting that one individual, but their kids, their grandkids, their nieces and nephews and friends. Every person represents 50 to 100 people inside that home. So even with a 10-bed home over the course of just a couple of years, you can impact 1,000 people. So our goal to do 1 million is predicated on having 1,000 homes in 1,000 days created. Now, I'm not going to do them all. That's why I need you. What I'm looking for is 333 people that want a 3-pack, those 3 homes. I'll add the last one there and get to 1,000, but guys, we're reaching that. We're almost there now, but by the end of this year, we will reach it. And if you're looking for something where you can do good and do very, very well, if you're looking for purpose, this is an opportunity for you. And you are good enough. I know some of you are thinking, Gene, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I have the chops for the real estate or if I can be a carrier. You can do this if you're willing to learn, if you're coachable. We're willing to teach you and show you how. The AL family stands behind you. We want you to do good and do well. You just have to get committed and take that first step, because ultimately your success is up to you. It's not up to me or anybody else. It's up to you. We'll encourage you. We'll educate you. We'll support you. We'll kick you in the pants. We'll give you a hug, but we're not going to do it for you, and nobody will. Your success is up to you. So if you want to, you can. Knowledge is the key to your success. Frankly, I'd much rather learn from your experience than mine. I'd rather get your education from the School of Hard Knocks than attend that university myself. I paid for my education, and now I'm willing to share those secrets with you to save you time, energy, money, and ultimately allow you to succeed where others may simply give up. Now, tonight, I touched the tip of the iceberg, but if you truly want to learn more, we couldn't have made it more convenient. We're doing a live virtual training, and it's coming up in just a couple of weeks. We've given you a massive discount and even said, have your partner be over your shoulder, be there with you. The same manual that you see over my shoulder, we're going to be giving you that too, so you'll have that during the class. We also do happy hours virtually, and that was a ton of fun. We had a lot of fun. People got a feel for the family, and I do want to see you face-to-face, and we'll do that at some point too, but this virtual training takes away all of the excuses. You can do this. We're going to do case studies, the virtual tours, deal crafting. I'm going to show you how to create your own business plan or how to get one, how to raise capital. I've done it. I can show you how to attract money that's out there and everything in between, how to work with and find angel investors and private lenders and all of that. Now, again, $49.97, that's a bargain right there. We normally discount that to $29.97. But with Protect Wealth, with Kendall, with Don, for those of you here who take action in the next 24 hours and 54 minutes, well, you're getting an additional $1,000 discount. You've got bonuses of the Foundations course, the Blueprint book. In addition to that, a really cool tool we put together, you're going to love it, where you can learn about how do these numbers work, put it in and watch it. It's so easy to use, but you'll have access to that, the RAL profitability calculator, and the $1,000 discount on top of that. Remember to use that code word PROTECT. When you go to that site, rala.live/protect, and it should be in the chat right now, you can click right on that link and it'll take you right there. This screen pops up. There's a little video of me on the top explaining it to you. On the right-hand side where it says register now, you pick the date, July, August, October, December. Do it. Again, if you want July, pick it now, secure your spot, because that will fill up. And we're doing presentations for the next 2 weeks, and those people probably will not make it into July. You can if you want to. If you're serious, you can do it. And remember, put in that promo code. That promo code is PROTECT, and then hit the button that says apply, and that discounts it right there to that $19.97. Take advantage of it. It's a huge opportunity, and it's here for you. I appreciate you listening to me tonight and allowing me to share this information with you. Now's your opportunity to take control. If you truly do want financial independence, if you want the money, but the freedom of time, and if you truly do want to help other people, not just yourself, but leave the world a better place, this is an opportunity. If you want to be at the best place for real estate and business for the next 20 years, this is the opportunity. And if you want to be in a position where you can truly do really good for other people, and I mean that sincerely, it's not just about the money. Yeah, the money's great and you'll make a ton, but helping other people, and guys, that's the magic. The older I get, the more important that becomes. And I hope you understand that and take that seriously as well. So, Kendall, I appreciate you allowing me to share tonight. And at this point, I'm just going to do a little bit of Q&A. I'm going to try to, I'm leaving that on the screen for a moment. You've got the website inside there. I do want to make sure that I can see, because you can see good. I'm going to just go back to this part.
Thank you so much.
I want to see, I went to, oh, you bet, man.
I seriously, I've been to your workshop. I've met the people that actually do this, and they truly do. I was super impressed because a lot of them maybe have some experience, maybe even no experience, but they legitimately want to invest, and they are such good people. They're the cream of the crop. They really are. They want to do good and do well. So I honestly, thank you so much for sharing. I think that's probably the best best offer you've given us. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. And that calculator we put together is really cool too. So I want to make sure everybody takes advantage of that. It's really cool. I will leave that up because I think you can see me and the screen. And I'm going to just kind of scan through on the questions, because sometimes what happens, you know, if you've got some questions as we go along, I want you to go ahead and type those in. But I also know that sometimes the questions tend to be the same. So I'll kind of put some things together if you have them. I love that. People typing in how much money they want to make. I love it.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. How much to get started, and how do you finance? You kind of covered some of that, but that seems like the questions that we've gotten so far on this side. How do you get started, and how much to invest, and how do we finance it?
Good. Well, let me just kind of answer those. And if you have other questions, guys, feel free to type those in and we'll go from there. But you know, the idea of how much does it take to get started, it depends. Because there's 3 different parts to it. There's the real estate, there's the renovation, and then there's the business startup. So let me break it down. If you own a piece of real estate now and you want to use that, well, it didn't cost you anything. If you lease it from somebody else, well, what does it cost to lease? A month's rent, a security deposit. If you go out and buy something, then you have a down payment, the financing cost. So it depends. The renovations, your home that you have may not need any renovations at all. I've walked into some homes and it's as if it was designed for exactly what we do. Other homes, you feel like, man, I should just knock it down and start over. So it depends if you're leasing the real estate. And again, depends on the side of the equation I'm going to educate you or consult you on. But if you're going to be the tenant, you're leasing the real estate from somebody else, I'm going to negotiate to have them do the renovations that I want. So what does it cost to do that? It depends. The next one is the business startup. Now, this is a cool one because people ask me all the time, Kendall, what's one of the mistakes or most important things people need to know about starting a business? And one of the main things is undercapitalization. They don't know that it takes money to do the business. So it's not like we're making money day one. We're not making money day one. We're spending money day one. And that loss that's happening for those first few months till we get to break even, and now we go up to profitability, we need to know what that number is. So we actually go through that during our training to show you exactly how to calculate that, so you know exactly how much you need in reserve before you even begin. And then to answer the other question you had, how do we fund it? 7 different ways, and we'll go through it, but SBA, USDA, banks, short-term financing, whether it be hard money lenders or private lenders, syndication, crowdfunding, owner financing, your own assets, repositioning it. So there's actually more than 7, but I say 7. We'll teach all of that to you during the training.
Very cool. All right. Bob's asking, what's the minimum number of beds and bathrooms?
Yeah, so the minimum number, and let me go with what you want and then what you'll find, okay? So you can have up to 2 people in a room. Some states allow you to have more. I don't want you to do that. As a matter of fact, what I want you to do is not even think about how many beds there are, but the size of the house, how many square feet. One of the homes that we bought to convert into was 6,000 square feet with 3 bedrooms. So you can imagine with 6,000 square feet, there's a lot of space that can be converted into bedrooms. You're not going to find a house that has 10 bedrooms. You're going to create it with the space that's there. But if you want 10 residents, you need a minimum of 5 bedrooms with 2 people in each. What I'd rather you do is have more private rooms that are smaller than large rooms that are bigger. The number of bathrooms, 1 bathroom for every 6 residents. Now, some states allow you to have up to 8, but 1 for every 6 residents. So if you have 10 residents, you need a minimum of 2 bathrooms. But imagine 10 residents, 2 caregivers, a visitor, and using 2 bathrooms. You're going to want more bathrooms. So here's the good news. A bathroom is one of the most expensive things to create and install in a home, but it's also one of the easiest ways to make money. If we have a private room with a private bathroom, even a half bath, you can charge an extra $500 a month, $1,000 a month. So even if, and it won't, even if it costs you $5,000 to create, add that half bath, if it's $500 a month more that you charge somebody because they have a private bath, it pays for itself in 10 months. Any investment you make that pays itself back in less than a year is a good one. So minimum of 5, minimum of 2 bedrooms or bathrooms rather, but bigger is better, and you can convert the space as needed.
Ooh, that makes sense. And by the way, I did put that on the chat screen, the link there. So anybody who's on who wants to take advantage of the offer, generous offer, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It is clickable in the chat screen. If you want to click on that, you can go ahead and get started there. Another great question, does it need to be single story or Rambler, I guess?
Doesn't need to be, but it's better if it is. Here's the deal. Seniors have less mobility. I have been in a single level home for 20 plus, actually 20 plus years anyway, because I don't even want to go upstairs if I don't need to, right? So if you have a single level, a Rambler, a ranch, a single level, that's better. If you have stairs, seniors can climb stairs too, but if somebody has mobility issues or they can't get up the stairs, we either have to get them a bedroom on the first floor, no stairs, or give them assistance up those stairs, so a chairlift or an elevator. So I wouldn't do that unless you have a really big, nice home. Putting an elevator in the chairlift, you could, but you'll figure it out so it's on the first floor or only have seniors that don't have an issue on the second floor.
Great. Okay. And Marty's asking a good question. So sometimes she's in Florida. Sometimes there are zoning issues for these group homes, and some areas need a minimum square footage per resident.
Yeah. So every state there's no federal guidelines. Every state's different. Florida has its own set of rules. They're overseen by an organization called ACA. 20 states in the country oversee, their ACA is it. So the rules and regulations. Now, Florida is a big state, 20 million plus people, lots of big major cities in there. And the rules are different in Miami than they are in Tampa, than they are in Orlando, than they are in Jacksonville. So it is local. in general. In Florida, you can have 6 people in a home and do residential assisted living. They call it an ALF, assisted living facility. You can have up to 6 people any place, no problem. If you want more than that, you can do it with the right permissions. You need sprinklers, etc. Now, I want you to think business, not mom and pop, not what's the lowest bar, what's the easiest way. Most of the homes in the state of Florida are, guess what, 6 bed. Why? Because you can do that with a 3-bed home, 3-bed, 2-bath home, 1,500 square feet. You can convert that all day long. That's a mom and pop mentality. If you're going to live in the house and you're going to be the manager and you're going to be the caregiver, that could work out fine. I don't want you to do that. I want you to have the right home in the right location that's as big as you can possibly make it. And we're going to hire the manager who's going to get the caregivers, who's going to fill the home so we can make more money taking care of more people. So you can do it with 6, but you're going to charge higher rates and it's going to be more of a challenge. Memory care is a real key if you're going to do it with a smaller home, higher rates, and they move in younger and last longer. You can do it there. But zoning is always local. You can do it in Florida throughout the entire state, but 6 is kind of you can do it anywhere. You can do up to, there's actually unlimited number in the state of Florida. There is no limit. You look at the rules, regs, there is no limit to the number, but let's be reasonable. The biggest residential assisted living or ALFs that I've seen in Florida are 21 people. Now that's a pretty big house, might be a 6,000 square foot house. But the idea of 10 or 12 is kind of, that's what I'm saying is good. And if it were 15 or 16, that's really, really good. But doing 6, I would do more than that, but you could do 6 if you want. I'm going to try to give shorter answers. I apologize.
No, it's okay. I know we're running out of time, but no, that's great. Marty says she actually is one of the premier architects of senior housing in the U.S. and says you're absolutely correct. It's a fantastic opportunity. I love that. That's very cool. All right.
Thank you, Marty.
Eddie's asking, do you know if there's any opportunities in Las Vegas, for example?
Oh, yeah. Las Vegas, I'm in Arizona, so it's very similar in the rules. You can have up to 10 residents in a home in Las Vegas or Nevada, and it's very, very similar to here. There's a lot of people. First of all, it's a great state for business in general. The real estate, very much so. The climate, very much so. A lot of people retire, move to there. And you've had challenges because the state of Nevada, a lot of it is based around Las Vegas, where a lot of that has gotten, hurt in the last few months. It'll come back. We all know that. But the reality is, yes, there are seniors there. The real estate is great. The prices are reasonable. The rules, you can have up to 10. So yes, 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 and yes.
I love it. That's so awesome. Yeah, it's kind of interesting because we have a lot of students, Gene, who've done this, believe it or not, and I love it because they maybe were in real estate before. And we've actually had some recently who've gone through your course, even were able to get grants and different funding opportunities. I was surprised. There actually is a lot more opportunities and money available for these opportunities out there, seems like, right?
Interesting. Yeah. It is. It's great. And they're trying to create as many new programs as possible. But one of the really neat things about where we're at in history today with what's going on, this industry is not being affected. And by the way, I've got to address this. Nobody asked this yet, but the bottom line is, we hear all these horror stories about seniors dying in nursing homes. We don't do nursing homes. It's not a nursing facility. It's not medical. It's assisted living. It's very, very different. Number 2, our homes are safe. People are moving out of nursing homes who are saying, look, I don't really need medical. I just need somebody to take care of mom, into our homes because we have 10 people. They've got 210. So it's a safer environment. There was an article in the Senior Housing News, June 3rd. That was the title, Smaller is Better. And it's the big box facilities, the Brookdale Sunrise, trying to figure out how to do what we do. We are the place to be. We are keeping people safe. This is a great opportunity and a great time to do it.
Wow. Well, and see, Bob's asking, it's great. I got a home, 5 acres, 3,500 square feet, 6 bed, 4 bath, tri-level, 2 family rooms, 1 living room, 1 dining room. Wow. I guess could it be done?
Well, he says, what could I do with that? It's a big depends, because what we don't know, and this is where I want to teach you this, but where is that home? The acreage, the size, all of that sounds all good and well, but if it's in the middle of nowhere, meaning nobody else is around, That's great if you want to be alone, but if you want senior housing, you want to be close to where the kids are because you want to make it convenient for me to come visit mom and dad. So Over the River and Through the Woods is a song that we sing during the holidays once a year. I don't want that. I want it's easy to go see mom at the end of the day, or I can go visit for a few minutes, or I can go there on the weekend, not where it's way outside. So the demographics are the key to that, the answer to your question, Bob.
Wow. Well, suburban building all around, Bob. So potentially, yeah, your team does
Yeah.
great at answering that. You can kind of look at things. I loved going to your event, and Gene, and seeing how you guys explain that. You go down and drill down on maps, details, why it would make sense and why it wouldn't. Super impressive. Well, we're about ready to wrap up here, Gene. I appreciate it so much. Seriously, generous offer, guys. I don't know that you've ever made that offer before, so we
Nope.
seriously appreciate that.
Yeah, and I really do encourage you guys that I know you all came here for a reason tonight, and that's it. You could be doing anything. And I know there's probably a few people, there's probably a lot of people that said they were going to come here and they didn't. And you know what I find really interesting about that? You right now, if you're listening to my voice, you're looking at my face, you're the action taker. You're the person who's serious about what's going on in your life. So I want you to stop kicking tires, stop thinking about someday maybe I will, and do it. Your life is short. It's almost a full moon. It was a full moon a couple of days ago. Guys, you don't have that many more full moons left. Let's just be blunt. So what are you going to do with your last years? And on the other hand, some of you are on the other end, you're young and you've got young kids. And I'm going to tell you this right now. There's a song called Cats in the Cradle. If you haven't heard the song, go find it online. It'll bring you to tears. But don't let life slip away while you're just working so hard. You don't even see your kids. You can't even get to know them until they're grown up having their kids and they don't have time for you. Stop that. What's your goal? What are you doing this for? What's it all about? You don't have to do everything, but you do need to do something, and you need to get serious and pick something and get committed. So when I say stop kicking tires, what I'm saying is you figure it out in your life. What's going to make you fulfilled? What's going to give you the income, the money, the fulfillment in your life to know that you're doing something more than just making money? What's it going to be for you? And if it's senior housing, this is it. Take action right now. This whole idea of doing the live training, beaming into your home and doing it there, guys, there is no more excuse. And if you know right now, every one of you can call in sick and say, hey, I got a cough today. I can't come into work. They're going to be, oh, heck yeah, you got it. Take the weekend off. Boom. Your schedule just opened up. Unless you're giving birth or you got a wedding or something going on during those 3 days, there is no excuse other than you. Now, guys, I know you can do this. And if you want to do this, we've taught thousands of people how to do this. You absolutely can. And I'd love to teach you how. So take advantage of it. I went through it. You saw it. Make sure you write that down quick because it's going away. And you've got about 24 and a half hours to take advantage of this. So if you have to ask somebody, ask them. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Sit down and explain it to them and say, here's what I heard. Are you interested? You want to support me in this? And if they say yes, great. And if they say no, then you think about that. If they're not interested in supporting you in your dreams, then that's a whole different conversation. But if you've been thinking about this, if it is your dream, if it is your passion, or you're wondering if it is, give yourself the chance to find out. Come join us, join the family, and let's have some fun doing it. Rolla.live/protect, and then use the promo code, all caps, PROTECT. Grab your bonuses, the foundations course, the book, the calculator, and $1,000 discount. Spend that any way you want. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, Kendall. I appreciate you guys. And we'll talk to you all soon. Remember, do good and do well.
Thank you so much, Jim. We appreciate it very much. So offer's good. We'll make it on there. I appreciate your time so much, guys. We'll send this out to you guys generally within 24 hours, the recording. Please give us a call if you have any questions. I put the questions and the website link in there. Gene, thanks so much for your time. Everybody out there, thank you so much. Stay safe. Look forward to seeing you soon.